Assalamu alaikum. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Rabbi awzini an ashkura ni'mataka allati an'amta alayya wa ala walidayya wa an a'mala salihan tardahu wa adkhilni bi rahmatika fi ibadika salihin. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Welcome friends. Inshallah we will continue with studying the rays. We are on the 15th ray, which is on page 581 online in the book. Maybe in the regular book, maybe 582 page. So basically we are going through the verses from section Fatiha of the Quran, which is something that we often recite every day many times in our prayers as a rituals as well, maybe outside of rituals as well, when we are conscious, aware that we are being blessed and taken care of by the sustainer of all the worlds, Rabbul Alameen. Each and every being is being taken care of, is being sustained, given existence. All his needs are being fulfilled. Either we may see it, we may not see it. So we studied some of the phrases. First, we touched upon all by observation of the universe, how we can conclude all praise be to God, and then the sustainer of all the worlds. Each every little thing that we can look into is a world by itself. That's how we saw that there are worlds within worlds, universes within universes that can be studied, and that's why the disciplines of science just keeps on going on. We keep studying more and more, finding more things, discovering more things. There is no end to the physics, psychology, chemistry fields. So we were in the third phrase, the merciful, the compassionate. And we looked at how clearly it is observable if we pay attention to how each and everything is employed to be serving us, so all the seeds, droplets of fluid, grains of earth. I mean, the list can go on and on. Nutritious, pure white milk, like the water of Kauthar, even the regular drinking water, the air we breathe, springs of breast to the infants of humans, the young, each and every infant young is being taken care of. So an extensive table of foods for man's senses, his abilities to see the meaning behind them. So we stopped here till the if it is said. So we will continue from here, inshallah, we'll pick up. Bismillah. So if it is said, the calamities, ugliness, and evils in this world are contrary to that all-embracing mercy and spoil it. So on the one hand, we say there's an all-embracing mercy, but then one may say, like, there are certain calamities. My life is, I'm not happy with some things that are not going on in my life. There's ugliness, there's this, for example, the recent COVID angel, as we call it, was visiting us and it's still visiting. Things can happen to us in life, although we may be perfectly living, but there are certain situations, surprises that may come along the way. And how do we interpret them? So there's one quick answer would be, hey, I don't like it. This is not fair for me. This is ugly, evil. Of course, we rebel against it. But then if we look from the meaningful aspect of it, the whole world can change. Inshallah, I mean, may we all try to live with this awareness where with the guidance of what the scriptures provide us with the Quran, how to interpret this universe, what the situations we go through in a more meaningful way. So the answer, this question has been answered completely, satisfactorily in various parts of the risale-i Nur, such as the treatise on divine determining. Referring to them, here we make only a brief allusion as follows. So this author has covered this in many other works, his writings, and he is going to briefly mention a few things here in an illusory way, as an allusion. So we can get the meaning from it. So he may give some examples. So let's pay attention to this. All the elements, all the realms of beings, all creatures have numerous duties, particular and universal. So all the elements, each particle is employed to do a particular duty. Human beings are doing some duty of their own. Animals are doing what they have to do. Plants are doing their duty. Skies, the sun is doing its duty, performing, shining, providing heat, whatever it's doing perfectly according to the will of the one who designed it, made it that way. The moon is employed, the stars, each and everything, the air is employed. So all realms of beings, all creatures have numerous duties, particular, so what they're doing, and then universal, how they're serving the whole universe. They fit perfectly within the whole universe. And each of those duties yields numerous results and fruits. How so? So each of those duties yields numerous results and fruits. For the most part, these are beneficial, beautiful, good, and are mercy. So for the most part, these are beneficial, beautiful, good, and are mercy. Only a few of them encounter those lacking ability, or maybe seemingly lacking ability, those who act wrongly, or those who deserve punishment and disciplining. Those who act wrongly, or those who deserve punishment and disciplining, or a warning, or those who will be the means of producing many shoots of good. So it's quite a few things. So a few of them encounter those lacking ability, those who act wrongly. That's one criteria. I may be following the order in the wrong way, not in the way I am made. Maybe I'm influenced by this society, the civilization. My feelings have been kind of nurtured by these society. So not according to my innate being the way I should be, or maybe the order I'm following, maybe I didn't or forgot to do something, so that maybe a miss in my act, which became a wrongful act. Or those who deserve punishment is another thing, those who deserve punishment and disciplining. So maybe bringing them back to how they're supposed to be. So it's like an education. We keep saying this in our discussions, this universe is an education place. So nobody is here to be harmed, but we are corrected in our mistakes so that we don't do the mistakes again. And then the last was those who will be the means of producing many shoots of good. So this may be a special case, I would think, those who will be the means of producing many shoots of good. So by going through these experiences, they will learn and maybe share so that other people are on the right track. So they could be the means of producing many shoots of good. So we'll come back to this, inshallah. An apparent minor evil is ugliness. An apparent minor evil is ugliness. It is apparently unkind. But if for the minor evil not to occur, the element and universal being is prevented by mercy from performing its duty, then all its other good and beautiful results would not come into existence. Let me read this sentence again. An apparent minor evil is ugliness. It is apparently unkind. But if for that minor evil not to occur, for that minor evil not to occur, the element and universal being is prevented by mercy from performing its duty. So everything is under the will, the command of an absolute being. So this, I think, touches upon some divine determining aspect as well. So if the element and universal being is prevented by divine mercy from performing its duty, then the thing or the event would not happen. So it's maybe seen as a minor evil by someone, but if we see it, then it's a mercy that is coming from the one who is trying to tell me something, whoever is performing this duty. Mercy from his duty, then all its other good and beautiful results would not come into existence. So a deliberate, conscious will is acting, as we saw in the previous sections, that everything that is happening shows that it is intentionally happening to us. Since the non-existence of a good is evil, and the spoiling of beauty is ugly, evil's ugliness and pitilessness. Ugliness and pitilessness would occur to the number of those results. Since the non-existence of a good is evil, and the spoiling of beauty is ugly, yes, that's correct, evil's ugliness and pitilessness would occur to the number of those results. Thus, hundreds of evil and instances of unkindness would be perpetrated just so that one evil would not occur, which would be entirely contrary to wisdom, benefit, and the mercy of dominicality. So thus hundreds of evil and instances of unkindness would be perpetrated just so that one evil would not occur, which would be entirely contrary to wisdom, benefit, and the mercy of dominicality. For example, things like snow, cold, fire, and rain have hundreds of benefits and purposes. If through their own choice, careless or imprudent people harm themselves. For instance, if they put their hands in the fire and say there is no mercy in its creation, the innumerable good, beneficial, merciful uses of fire will give them the lie and hit them in the mouth. I think the examples really helped here. So by the free will, if we try to choose something which is contrary, which is wrong, and we say this is evil, that is our fault, but there are millions of benefits in that something that may be seen as an ugly thing, but just like fall season, some may think it's an ugly thing, but it's a very good preparation for the spring to come. So it is necessary. It may be perceived in one way, maybe for one particular aspect to look into man, but the majority of the aspects, 99.9% maybe, looks to the goodness, the mercy in it. So I will pause here if anybody has any comment. Oh, okay. You have quite a few points. Okay, inshallah. So let's finish the next paragraph and then we can go back. Okay. So now the author mentions about moreover, man's selfish desires. Yeah. I thought that's a little touches upon man.
I was busy with something, then I didn't notice that you finished it. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, there are several points that reminded me to go back to this point and revise it. First of all, we have to understand that, I don't know whether you can share a verse in the Quran, which is,
look for it.
Yeah, 56.
1 second. Okay, Quran 56.
62, verse 62. 62.
Okay.
And to what I share.
Okay. Inshallah. So
Can you read it?
yes, so it says, and since you are indeed aware of the miracle of your coming into being in the first instance, why then do you not bethink yourselves? Why don't you think of who brought you into your existence?
Use your reasoning and as a human being. This now this shows that most of the time we do not understand what is created just because we look at the matter when anything, when something happens, when we don't like it. When we don't like it. The Quran says, go back to the beginning of the all creation. The beginning means really, don't be stuck at that point.
That particular.
Now, go back to the universe and see. For example, there is an earthquake. All right. We don't like it, and we say, as the question includes this, and this is a typical example, we don't like the earthquake because we feel harmed. Now, Quran says, go back to the origin of the existence of other days and years of stable world. How did it come into existence? Why did it come into existence? When we look at it, we understand that the one who created the earth, going around the sun and the moon around the earth, globe of earth, perfectly arranged it and wisely did it. Now, this is the general picture. Once in a time, every 50 years, 20 years, 30 years, 6 seconds, 5, 6, at the most 8 seconds, earthquake takes place and destroys something. We say there is no wisdom in the creation of the earthquake, but we do look at the stable creation of the universe of the earth for 20 years, 50 years, we take only one part which we didn't like it. We accuse God because of this, God's mercy, because of this 45 seconds of disturbance, rather than saying that, look, 20 years is wise and merciful, creative acts are functioning, 6 seconds not. There must be a reason, because we see the mercy in the stability of the earth. So just few seconds, and not everywhere, in some parts only. That is interesting that human beings act in this way. We have to be careful. Again, another example, come to now, another aspect of the matter. If a teacher, professor, whoever, doesn't want students, look, I'm going to explain the subject here, whatever we are going to study. That is one. You have to attend it. That is two. Attendance is important. Reminds. And I'm going to give you assignments. Now, if you don't attend the class, you won't learn it. If you don't do the assignments, you won't learn it. If the professor doesn't say this at all, tells and goes, at the end, everybody is equally rewarded. Do you think the purpose of education has been fulfilled?
No.
Warning is needed. Prior warning is needed. So that whether we will take notice of it or not, and accordingly we will say, no, the professor reminded me this. And I didn't keep his advice, his warning, and I didn't learn it. So I am the failure. It is not the failure of the institution of education. That's what we have to understand. If someone doesn't do the assignment, what he needs, reminder. Teacher says, hey, those who didn't do the assignment, look, they are going to see themselves as not learned to subject. That is why they gave a test in such a way that to demonstrate that they did not learn it. Mm-hmm. It seems to be a punishment, because at the end, those people who have not fulfilled their student duty, they will see that they failed. They cannot pass the class. But if a student attends, does his assignment, learns perfectly, what does he do? He gets satisfaction, he receives satisfaction, and he will be pleased with the test. Now the test seems to be an obstacle for the student. Oh, I was coming, comfortably going and coming, going and coming. But when there is a test, those students who are not careful, who are not really doing their duty properly, they don't like it. Now, all these kind of temporary, very partial creations are nothing but a kind of reminding. This sentence is important, as translated here. Who act wrongly, those who act wrongly, we may go back.
Yep, I can show that.
In the middle of the first paragraph.
Yes.
first page.
Right.
The word very
Those lacking ability to act wrongly.
who act wrongly or those who deserve punishment. Right. And disciplining. Now, the translation is terbiyah. Disciplining is not really appropriate translation of terbiyah as far as the word, original word terbiyah, rububiyah, is something to do with rububiyah. The root meaning of the original word is not disciplining, it's education, training. So those people need to be given opportunity to understand that they are not fulfilling their duty. This is just an opportunity. But while something happening, earthquake is happening, we have to notice that earthquake doesn't strike only lazy students. Strikes everyone, but successful students are happy. Only the unsuccessful or lazy students are not happy, and they keep complaining about it. So, for example, if something happens, a believer lost his house, God forbid, is it possible? Yeah. When a calamity comes for everyone, not only for non-believers or lazy people or neglectful believers, everyone equally. So those people who believe, they will remember that, look, who understand perfectly and does his job perfectly. They will understand, look, for 20 years, we were comfortable in this world. The one who does this must have a wisdom in creating this event. My house is lost, yes, but he knows. He knows that my house is lost. It is not the purpose. It is a general reminder because the order of the universe does not specify anyone and act differently, function differently for believers and non-believers. In its physical action. In its physical action, whether you believe or not,
doesn't discriminate.
Affects equally. But this is physical action. How about our understanding of it depending on my understanding? And how I interpret it, those people who fail in the
interpretation,
in the test, this is just a 5-second test. And they will say, look, which kind of God he is. You are saying he's all merciful. Where is mercy? I lost my house. Or I lost my child, or somebody. Yeah, you see what or I am dead. But those people who are failure, they know that the professor gave the test just to let the lazy students understand, but it is a reward for the one who understands that, yeah, I cannot guarantee, I cannot take this life on earth guaranteed. So it is not in my hand. It confirms my belief. Take it positively. Mm-hmm. It confirms my belief. It is a temporary thing, very partial event. And understand that there is a wisdom to remind me my reality so that I may be forgetful. And in this way, he is educating me that I have to pay notice of my reality in this world. I should never, ever forget it. Because I believe in God, so my life is guaranteed. In physical terms, there is no difference. I know God is wise. If he discriminated, it wouldn't go along with the purpose of the creation. Purpose of the creation, those people who are serious about their lessons, their classes, their duties, they understand the purpose of the creation, not to have a house. Of course, other way around is also true. It doesn't mean that I shouldn't have a house, but not to have a house. The purpose of the creation, while I am entertaining the benefits of the house, I have to acknowledge it is not my property. The owner can destroy it anytime. It is given to me. It is a gift to me. So look, he took it away. You see, I am not the real owner. I am not the real owner. Depending on one's understanding of the previous creations, previous to that particular event, I am not saying go back to the origin of the beginning of the universe. The Quran doesn't refer it. So, for example, for me, look, the one who gave me life. This is very important, and not many people mention about it, especially those people who are opposing God's mercy and denying God. Who brought you into existence? I don't know. I came into existence. Is there any cause that that necessitates my existence to be a human being in this world? No, there are just tools, means. Cell. That's it. I am a cell. I was a cell. Who created the cell? Who created me as a human being out of a cell? How many years? 60 years. Now I am ill. How many years I entertained health? 60 years. Now I am ill. But it means I am ill in my nose, for example, or in my lung. The other organs are working perfectly. Now, because there is the reality of death. We should never forget that. At the end, death is there. How do you explain the death? However you explained your birth, you will explain your death in the same way. We should never forget this. I'm not going to talk about death. In order to understand death, I have to check my birth. That's what the Quran refers to. وَلَقَدْ عَلِمْتُمُ النَّشْأَةَ الْأُولَى فَلَوْلَا تَذَكَّرُونَ. It's a beautiful word. Since you know that you are given the existence from the very beginning of your being in this world and entertained by so far, فَلَوْلَا تَذَكَّرُونَ. Why you are given death or something that you don't like temporarily, a limited area? You don't remember that the one who gave me existence, who is it? Who is doing this to me? This is a perfect reasoning that the Quran is teaching us. Perfect reasoning. Go back to the origin of my existence, origin of the stability of the earth, origin of the purpose of the education. Why did they establish the institutions of education? To teach you. Since they teach you, why do they give tests from time to time? As if you feel that if someone is a lazy student, they will say, look, they are punishing us. We are coming to the class, or being a student here, imitating my life. Now they say, you failed. How horrible this institution is. Justifiable or not? No, not justifiable. No one accepts any institution which doesn't give any test. and equally leaves every student out of the class and rewards them equally. None of the education system does it. If one does it for money purposes, financial purposes, to get the students get their money, everybody will be suspicious about it. No one will trust in their degree. If you say, I'm graduated from this university or college, which one? This one. The one who passes everyone? No, nothing. Then what happens? It causes an injustice. In an injustice. Why? Those students who learned in this institution will be treated again as trash. It is injustice. Do you understand this logic? I mean, am I making sense?
Yes.
Whatever. It will be a most unjust action towards the student who learned there in that class.
Right.
So we have to say, if there was no such events, God will not be merciful for those people who are conscious of him, for those people who deserve paradise. But for those people who don't think of their creation, but just because they didn't like something happened and pass a judgment about the creator, they deserve hell. And say that he is not merciful, he is not wise. I don't believe in a God who is not wise and merciful. They deserve hell because they didn't want the justice to operate in creation.
I see.
Now they want to be equal with those people who are doing their assignments. It means fulfilling the purpose of their life. Studentship. I'm a student, I'm learning. Because of you, I will be treated as trash. Well, the education system is wrong. You want education system to be wrong, and you deserve, you give me the portion of being being trash. You are not right. We have to understand that this is very egocentric understanding, not being realistic, and ego always operates in this way anyway, wants to see everything under his own control as he likes it, nothing to do with the purpose of their existence. Okay, that's what I have to share.
Thank you for sharing these points. Alhamdulillah. Any comments by anyone on what has been said? Shared. Okay. So we will continue, inshallah. Moreover, man's selfish desires and lowly emotions, which are blind to consequences, cannot be the criteria, the measure or balance of the laws of mercy. So man's ego, selfish desires, lowly emotions cannot be the criteria, measure, or balance of the laws of mercy.
Yeah, we call this.
Yes, it makes now perfect sense. His laws of mercy, his sovereignty and dominicality, which are in force in the universe. He sees things according to the color of his own mirror. A black-hearted, cruel person sees the universe as weeping, ugly, dark, and tyrannical. But if he looks through the eye of belief, he sees a macroanthropos clothed in 70,000 beautiful garments, one over the other, sown of instances of mercy, good, and wisdom. So the eye of belief versus a black-hearted, cruel person. two different perspectives. Like a huri of paradise, dressed in 70 fine garments, it is always laughing, smiling with mercy. He will observe that mankind within it is a miniature universe. He will observe that mankind within it is a miniature universe, and each individual man a microcosm. He will exclaim with all his heart and spirit, "All praise be to God, the sustainer of all the worlds, the merciful, the compassionate, owner of the day of judgment." So all, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. Very meaningful, inshallah. So I think we covered all this. This question has been answered completely satisfactory, yes, and then blah, blah, blah. For the most part, beneficial. I think Brother Ali's comments kind of covered pretty much what this section was about. Hundreds of evils unkindly perpetrated. If through, yeah, all right. And of course, we have to check what criteria are we using when we are judging on the events in the universe. Just like the example of the earthquake or the test in the education system, or even if we get sick for some time, what is the criteria that we are using? So for example, if I'm coughing and I have to go back and see all those days that I've been without cough, or it happens very commonly if I'm doing hiccups, it feels annoying at that moment, but then when I come back to my reality, see what the reasoning behind it is, just like the earthquake, which is beneficial for many reasons. So the hiccups that I go through is also beneficial for many reasons. All right, so we will continue with the fourth phrase. Owner of the day of judgment. Maliki Yawmiddin. A very concise indication of the proof contained in this phrase. Firstly, all the evidences which testify to the proof of, and to him is your return, and to the resurrection of the dead, and hereafter, at the end of the part 1 of this lesson, testify to the extensive truth of belief which owner of the day of judgment indicates. So all the evidences which testify to the proof of, and to him is your return, and to the resurrection of the dead, and hereafter, at the end of the part 1 of this lesson, testify to the extensive truth of belief which is owner of the day of judgment, what it indicates. So the proof of, and to him is your return. So whatever is created in the first place, life is given by whoever gives life, gives death to us. So death is not something, wow, like something different, but just the same one. Is just the return back to the one who gave us life in this world. So all the evidence in the universe is like this, they all return back to him. To him is each and everything's return. So I'll go to secondly. As is said at the end of the 10th word, just as the eternal dominicality, mercy, and wisdom of the universe's maker, and his pre-eternal and post-eternal beauty, glory, and perfection, and his endless other attributes and hundreds of names certainly require the hereafter. So, eternal dominicality, mercy, wisdom of the universe's maker, and his pre-eternal, post-eternal beauty, glory, and perfection. So all attributes and qualities require the hereafter, because we experience them in a temporary form here. Get a flavor of it. Appetizer.
Yeah.
So does the Quran testify to the abode of the hereafter with thousands of its verses and proofs? As does Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, with his hundreds of miracles and evidences, and all the prophets, peace be upon them, and the revealed books and scriptures with their innumerable evidences. The person, therefore, who does not believe in the everlasting life of the hereafter casts himself into a sort of hell in this world. So in this world, the person who does not believe in the everlasting life of the hereafter casts himself into a sort of hell in this world, arising from his unbelief, and suffers constant torment. So in his deep down within his feelings, his senses will just torture him, his conscience will torture him. This cannot be, I cannot accept that this life will be meaningless, just end of the world. So that's why everlasting life, the continuation of existence, is a very powerful fruit of the belief.
Very simple reason. I don't want to die. That's very simple. No one wants to die.
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to get old.
Yeah.
So there must be a reason in the way I am created with these desires. Definitely simple.
Very simple.
Yep.
Alhamdulillah. As is described in A Guide for Youth, through their death and parting, all the past and the future, and creatures and universes continuously rain down endless pains on his spirits and heart, making him suffer the torments of hell before going there. So the ones who do not acknowledge or unbelief, that's what it entails. All right, so there's a thirdly on this section. The day of judgment, Yom ad-Din, Yom al-Din, Yom ad-Din, Yom ad-Din or whatever, Yom al-Din, alludes to a vast and powerful proof of the resurrection of the dead. A vast and powerful proof of the resurrection of the dead. But a situation has arisen here, causing the postponement of that proof to another time. But a situation has risen here, causing the postponement of that proof to another time. Perhaps, too, no need remains for it, for various parts of the risale-i have proved with hundreds of powerful arguments that the morning and spring of the resurrection of the dead and great gathering will occur as certainly as day follows night and spring follows winter. Yes, so the author, as he says, in various parts, he has discussed the necessity of the hereafter.
We read here that the author mostly gives reference to other writings.
Yes.
One of his extraordinarily significant writing is called The Miraculousness of the Quran. The example, a sample of a tafsir, how the commentary should be. Really, you read that there must be a commentary like this, that it really deserves to be read. But just 30 or something, 31, 32 verses he studied that from the beginning of the Quran and stopped. This is the pattern. You can continue if you can. So far, no one did anything further than that. It needs a great scholarship. There, Maliki Yawmiddin is, of course, in the beginning of the Mus'haf. So he studies Maliki Yawmiddin. It goes into the details of Malik. So you can read Malik as we usually understood owner, as it is translated in also owner, yeah. But also in other versions of reading Maliki Yawmiddin, this Malik has a deeper meaning, not only the owner, but from the very scratch of the things the coming into existence, the one who brought them into existence knows every detail of it, which means the truth in the existence of everything lies the various, maybe innumerable number of the manifestations of the names. And the true nature of these names is to be absolute one. What he does, he definitely is aware what he did. I mean, what he's doing. So which kind of qualities he is manifesting there. Now it is we have to concentrate here. It must know which kind of qualities he is manifesting, since he is manifesting it. Excuse me first. This is very interesting. So the one which the author calls it haqa'iqul haqiqa. It means the reality of this universe is based on certain truths. And these truths are the manifestation of absolute qualities of the Creator. And the Creator is Malik of it, aware of it,
these qualities,
knows it. He is the owner of these realities. The result is manifestation of it, simple. But he is the owner of Maliki Yawmiddin, owner of the reality of this world. Does it make sense? Now, the same owner goes back to Yawmiddin. Maliki Yawmiddin. It doesn't say Malik. No. Maliki Yawmiddin. What does it mean? Why it is related to Yawmiddin? Yawmiddin is the day when the debts are paid. What? The emana, the trusts are given to us. Our existence is a trust. Our qualities, human qualities, are trust to us by our Creator. And this is also manifestations of the names of the Creator. Now, it is given to me under my free will to accept it and return it back to its owner or to deny it. Those people who deny it, they didn't return the trust. They didn't accept that these qualities belong to my creator. Then they denied it, they rejected, returning the qualities to its owner. Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. Now, it is very delicate thought, actually, reflection. Those people who'd return it, now they paid the debt back, or their trust back.
I see.
They paid their debt. Mm-hmm. So, the one who created this universe on a temporary base, but the source of it is absolute infinite. So he promises that these infinite qualities will claim it is right from you. When this claim takes place after we die, mm-hmm. is called the Day of Judgment. Did you get it?
So when he claims the right or
did you pay me back or not?
Okay.
I know what you did, but I am just putting you on judgment. Mm-hmm. You did not pay my debt. Okay, my trust to you. I am going to take from you my trust. What is left? Trash. Hell. Hell is lack of the manifestations of God's names, mercy, wisdom. Mm-hmm. Paradise, you gave me back, accepted, acknowledged my trust. What I will do, you deserve to keep it. That is paradise. You deserve to keep it. That is why we have to be very careful to give the trust back to his owner, accepting that my qualities don't belong to me. Did you get the logic of the Quran? Maliki yawmiddin.
Some of it, yes.
Now, not establisher of the yawmiddin. Maliki yawmiddin. Right. Maliki yawmiddin.
Owner of the...
Yeah, the relationship in the hereafter and the relationship between the hereafter and our life here is based on Yawmiddin. I must get ready for the Yawmiddin to deserve the trust again to be given to me, even in a better way. That is mercy. But those people who deny the trust will be taken from them, and then they will be left without it. That is the best, to my understanding, description of hell and paradise. This is theoretical. All the symbolic things are symbolic. They describe it in the Quran, which is the entertainment. Of course, the same names will be manifested in endless form in the believers. Why believers? They return the trust back. Yeah, that is the day of judgment. Everything will be clear whether I return it or not. Until I die, I may cheat it as if I'm still receiving the favor. No, it was expecting to turn it back to its owner from you, but you mischieved or mistreated your free will. You deny it to return it back to me. you claim that you are the owner. I exist by myself. The universe exists by itself. Yeah. Look, the trust is not giving back. So we have to be really very conscious of our reality and always be ready to return the debt back or the trust back to its owner. Yes, it is you. It doesn't belong to me. The house doesn't belong to me. The body doesn't belong to me. The mind doesn't belong to me. And the universe doesn't belong to me. Sun is yours. Everything is yours. None of them is yours. But as a favor, you gave it to me as the trust, and I am using it until you take it back from me. Now, it is not taken back by death. No, it is the transformation of facing my reality when I die. Receiving my reality back, what I did in this world. That is the just transformation of my existence from one type of existence into another type of existence, but still existence.
So it's not taken away and given back.
No. It is, because the body is not human being.
Right.
Spirit is not taken away. Spirit is not completely taken away back to its owner. No, spirit still exists, but it is taken away from the body. It means from this earth. Body is earth, flesh, then earth, originally earth.
Yes.
So it belongs to the earth. Spirit belongs to its creator. And creator doesn't give death to the spirit. You know, this qabzatul ruh or arwah, it means taking the description of when nazi'at naz'a, when nashrat nishra, this all descriptions of the death in the Quran is described as taking the spirit from the body smoothly or just really capturing it and taking it harsh. But in both cases, spirit is not given death. Body is left without spirit. That's it. Death is so simple.
So the trust transfers in that more?
No, trust is given to me in this existence. Will continue to my spirit to entertain it, but with after giving a body. Resurrection means hashr. Hashr means really gathering my body again and putting the spirit in this new form of body now. But the trust is still with me.
I see.
Now, spirit doesn't feel when it is taken away from the body as if it doesn't exist or it is in hell or left without anything. No, he will realize his origin because the body prevents it from realizing its origin physically. Now, in the hereafter, physically experience its origin. It doesn't mean that, he will be united with God. No, but will realize its reality. Here we are just believing, logically concluding that it must be, that it doesn't belong to me. Yeah, any sense doesn't belong to me. It's given to me. It is so obvious. The car, the metal parts of the car or engine doesn't claim that it is doing it. It is employed there to do it. Like the simple example I gave, which is simplest example is the best example. The brick in the wall. Bricks don't make the wall. Bricks are employed there by the builder. So simple. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Nothing complicated.
Alhamdulillah, may we live with this awareness, inshallah.
Inshallah.
All right, I think we're at time, so we'll conclude here. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma alamtana innaka anta alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bi hurmati surat al-Fatiha. Thank you, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.